And I'm reporting in verbatim here. This girl told me, mwalimu tulikuwa tunashangaa, unatufunza asubuhi, usiku, Saturday, Sunday, wakati wa entertainment, kwani hata ukuanga na girlfriend? And I had to step back and think about what this student had just told me. What this student was telling me is that, please, get a life. Hi everyone. I have recorded my lowest moment and perhaps my greatest regret as a teacher in this video. However, there are a few more low moments that I have, and today I want to discuss one of them. Teaching on Sunday afternoons during the students' entertainment time. I would organize for practicals for the Form 4s every Sunday afternoon, especially during second and third terms, for about 30 minutes to 1 hour, denying my students the opportunity of getting the plot of the movie as it started. Because of course they would get back to the dining hall when the movie was midway. My reasoning then was that these students would get enough opportunities to watch the movies and series the moment they cleared school and as they waited for the results to be released in February of the following year. For now, they needed to sacrifice their time, entertainment time, for the most important thing, academics. But as I realized later, this kind of reasoning was flawed for two main reasons. Number one is because of the simple reason given by the great philosopher King Solomon, that there is a time for everything. And this also includes time to learn and time for entertainment. Reason number two is that I would also realize later that in most of the circumstances, less is more and more is less. The more present you are with your students, teaching them, actually over teaching them, eating up their PE time, life skill lessons time, taking up any other lesson of an absent teacher to teach your subject, waking up early in the morning to teach them during their morning preps, staying late at night so that you can teach them after the end of the evening preps, teaching them during games time, and like me, teaching during entertainment time, then the net effect of your efforts and the so-called sacrifices become zero. As a matter of fact, and practically speaking, the student's performance is more likely to decline instead of rise. It is called the law of diminishing returns. The law of diminishing returns with people states that there is a point where doing more of the same will stop working the way we expect. As teachers, we expect that the more we teach and coach the students, the more likely they will pass. But the opposite is actually the truth. The more you teach, over-teach in this case, the less likely they are to pass. And why is this? It is simply because the students begin hating you because of your overbearing nature and the fact that you are overburdening them. But most importantly, you are making them lose out or miss out on something that they really love, such as PE, entertainment, games, outings, and free time. And when the students hate you, they will definitely hate your subject. And there you are, thinking that you are hammering points and praising yourself for the great sacrifice that you have made, consoling yourself that service to humanity is service to God, while your students are deep within themselves cursing you and wishing that you get an accident so that you don't come to school. But how wrong they are, because even when this teacher breaks his leg, at 4:30 a.m. the following day, he will be in class, plastered and in crutches. His opening statement: last time we were discussing about writing the correct chemical formula. Today, we are going to discuss about balancing chemical equations. And I have personally experienced this kind of sentiments. A teacher boring the students, both as a teacher and as a student. I remember when we were in Form 4, there used to be a teacher of English who would come at 1:20 to teach us English all the way to 2. And one day we got so bored because he used to come, I think, every single day from Monday to Friday. And we locked him out. And so he came to the window and was telling us, and we went and opened for him. And when he got to class, he was now telling us that if we don't wish to be taught by him at that particular time, we can simply tell him. Of course, there is no way we are going to tell him that we don't want to be taught by him. And so he continued teaching us. How I personally wish that it was something like, some mathematics, some chemistry, or we would just be led to discuss within ourselves. Or if that is not the case, then even be allowed to sleep at that particular time because it was immediately after lunch. But this kind of teaching was so overbearing in our minds. I still remember it. The second time I remember this kind of sentiment, a teacher becoming overbearing and overburdening the students with too much teaching, over-teaching technically speaking, is in 2017 when I met a girl, my former student, outside Kenyatta University's computer center, when I had gone back for my master's, which I'm yet to graduate. And this girl was outright honest with me. She told me at point blank range, and I'm reporting in verbatim here. This girl told me, mwalimu tulikuwa tunashangaa, unatufunza asubuhi, usiku, Saturday, Sunday, wakati wa entertainment, kwani hata ukuanga na girlfriend? And I had to step back and think about what this student had just told me. What this student was telling me is that, please, get a life. And I'm happy to report to my former students that I finally got a life. And I subscribed to a very common philosophy nowadays in our schools. Teach and go home. In fact, I normally say, teach and disappear. But in conclusion, and to my former students, kindly find a place in your heart to forgive me. It was not out of my own making, or it was not my wish to be overbearing and overburdening unto you. It was not my wish to take your entertainment time, actually steal it from you. It is just that there is this thing that grabs new employees, and they think that the reason why this school is not performing, the reason why these students are not performing well, is because they have not had such a good and a committed teacher like me. The reason why this bank or this institution is not having enough profits is because they have not had such a good teller, such a good accountant like me. And so you want to dip yourself, you want to immerse yourself into work and overwork yourself and really, ujitume, and try to work as hard as you can. But I shall have another video talking about this kind of thing that grabs employees and they think that they can actually change the whole world. Overturn this world upside down, literally carrying the whole world onto their backs. And so they overwork themselves. They overburden themselves. But as sadly as they come to realize later, that most of the times, this is not possible. Of course, I understand that my students would like me to apologize for something different. But that's a story for another day. Thank you so much. I'm out.